So people, here I've got my tiny weensy little stinger hook above the bait. I'm going to heave it out. I might get a decent fish on this. If I don't, I feel the small fish are going to be coming around, nibble away, and they might get just snagged on this small tiny size, whatever, 10 fresh water. I think I'm just going to put a tiny piece of ragworm on there, especially at the cost of them. I've got some sand eels, frozen sand eels. I've lashed out big time. Half a pound of worms. Oh my god. Now I need, well, they're all quite good big worms. Something like this, I don't think I'm going to catch till it's dark. That's my honest feeling. I'm going for real small pieces of, snap it off. See the little piece of worm? If I put it down there, you can see what it looks like. And that's the theory. It's theory time again, folks. Let's get the other one sorted out. Now, fishing at night, you have to remember you've got these small hooks there, obviously. Gonna be a cold one tonight. There we go. So tide is on the beach here, about 2 hours up. I can see a break in the surf over there. It's flooding in. It's due to be high about just before 8 o'clock tonight, so I'm trying to get these out before it gets dark, and then I'll get rigged up with my shelter, talk you through stuff. And this one I'm just lobbing out, as you can see, a 2-hook paternoster. It might look peculiar, but I feel when it's dark, those little stinger hooks might just salvage it for me. Oh, I can afford to come down with this. Going to meet the sea. I've no idea what it's like, no idea what the fishing, I haven't heard a thing. There's guys fishing down the beach. Down there's about 4 of them. And what I do, a lot of people don't, I just put this leader knot when I fix spooling right at the bottom there of the spool, and then I just do a few hand wraps over there without crossing it over, just to try and minimise any overlap. And I'm just going to heave that out, whatever. It's one of those trips I've got to go fishing, and that's all there is to it. I've mentioned it before, see the curve in the beach there? Just an inch or two I can gain without getting a booty, hopefully. Not very far at all. We'll be trying a lot closer on this little trip. Got braid on this one. I've always said I'm not a lover of braid, but you know, it's what we anglers use nowadays. Quite happy with mono, but good bite detection. You can see the sun's going down. It's cold. I can't really set up down here because I think the tide's coming up there. Pretty sure right here. It's a falling tide. It's going back from larger tides to smaller tides. I see rods out down there, so they'll all be looking for the flood tide. I am looking for whiting. I've come for whiting. I've chucked that mackerel out for really dogfish or anything bonus comes along, but I mean whiting is what I'm sort of looking for. So plenty of ragworm, fresh live ragworm, packet of squid. I could have a packet of squid, £6 a small packet of squid, so I thought I'll pass on that and just get some of these sand eels. Now they're only a small sand eel and I've got small hooks, so I'm going to cut them in half, and I'm going to whiting do like either worms and or fish baits, any sort of fish bait, oily sand eel like this. That can make a bait on its own, you see. Then I'm going to try and whiz this out a bit farther. These are these sharp blued match hooks, just to offset the points. Hopefully you'll get in this. And now they got bait stops, which you can slide the bait right up over the hook, over the eye, and then pull your bait stops down like that, and then when you cast they don't go flying off further up. This rig's called a whack-a-noster, mentioned it before, no idea why. Every time I come here there's a helicopter or a plane going over. I'll tell you what I do, don't forget, they take a nip off the tail, allegedly stop it spinning. There is actually more wind than I thought there would be, and from a different direction. Now you can see they're quite soft, they thaw out very quickly, I find, sand eels. I'm trying to get in the habit of putting my bait thread. I've actually got a new one, this is an old one I'm trying to use up. Again, I'm going to put this knot further down here when I cast out. I do like it when the sun starts to go, I feel much more confident. So I've totally come for the tide, I'm telling you that now. That's all I've come for. So I let the spool go off like this, unwind it a bit. Look, do what you want, just so it has the knot at the bottom and minimises any nastiness. And then this one I feel, because there's a small tide, it's flooding that way. The wind's blowing that way, so it's going to pull my line away from those groins. And at low tide, it doesn't matter. I cast straight across there, because when I wind in, I'll come past the end. As the tide pushes me up the beach, obviously it's going to push the line maybe in there. That's where I should be standing, but hey ho, out we go. We'll give this one a whiz. That's going well. That's about 750 yards. You think I'm joking? There's a bloke in France, when he knows I'm coming beach fishing, he puts a crash helmet on. I might chuck the spinning rod out. Get in there, my boy. I've no idea what's been coming out, I'm just banking on when it gets dark. There might be something coming. Right. I thought the wind would be off my back here, it's not, it's coming almost slightly northwest, swinging around a bit, so it's been horrible weather, so I've got to give it a go, got to. Now do I go for big hooks or small hooks? Come on, tell me what to do. Yeah, I thought you'd say that, small hooks, you just want me to catch something, okay. Let's see what else we got in this box of tricks. This fishing tackle box, this Superior model, is actually my daughter's ex-makeup box, and it does. This one's called a 3-hook loop rig. That sounds impressive. Pulley, the whack-a-noster I've used. Let's go for this, purely because it's got new hooks. I've got another whack-a-noster rig, but I'll put it away, and I think it's got hooks want changing. Always taking them out, it's a mess, bear with me. So this one is my I call it the shotgun rod. No nibbles yet, a lot of wind up in those clouds. Oh my god, look at those. Can you see those up there, what we call mare's tails? There's mare's tails, so it's going to blow, so I think I've got the right thing coming down here. Wow, it is windy. And will it come from that direction, from sort of the west? That's straight down the Solent there, Isle of Wight's over there. The yellow thing over there is the sun. Rod, reel, fishing line, the rig. To put that there, I've put a whole sand eel there, whipped it on, took the tail off, bit of worm. I forgot to pull the stop down on this one, watch. There. And there. I'm gonna have a sit down, no bites yet. It's getting dark. Lots of inactivity. What do you think of this jacket? What do you think of this jacket? It's a flotation jacket, people. Now, I normally have, as you know, I wear that old charity shop Helly Hansen jacket. I've never been cold in it. The other day I was working with the wife, I thought, I'm putting that on. It was raining as well. I got soaked around the elbow, so I think it might need reproofing or something like that. So anyway, Phil Williams, who's a famous fishing writer, gave me this. It was his second-hand one he had, you know, used. I'll take anything used, throw away. I'm not proud. Cast-offs, anything. And I don't think I've worn it more than 2, 3, 4 times. It's waterproof. It's allegedly supposed to be a flotation suit, keep you buoyant if you do go in the water, which I have no intention of. But it's got all sleeve links and hoods and bits and bobs and stuff. I've got my old headgear on, obviously, because I hate the cold, as I've told you before. I absolutely hate it. So I've got gloves. So we'll see what this one's like. This one's ancient FGCO, is it? Flotation jacket. So you guys out there, tell me, what's your warmest jacket you wear? This is just a second-hand one. I'm not one of those guys that's sponsored, you know, look, I've got this, and it's got that, that's it. I don't bother with that. It's second-hand. I'm very grateful to Phil for giving it to me. Obviously, he's got more than he knows what to do with, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to try it tonight because it will get cold. Got some gloves because my fingers have problem with circulation. There's a lot of yellow sun going down. That's normally a sign of rain, so I'm hoping I can get in and out by maybe 10:30, so I can reach the car. But unfortunately, not a tremble that I can see. I'm going to wait till it's nearly dark before I heave them in again. That's probably the one I'm going to leave out longest, this one. If I bring those in and they're stripped, which I will in a minute, then obviously I'm going to start piling through the bait. The crabs must be active. Beautiful colours, look at that. Selfie time. No fish. Between the groins here, you know, in the beach. I'll just put that in here. Fingers crossed I don't get bothered. Generally, if there's a bunch of anglers, I tend to try and not being unsociable, walk in the opposite direction. I just want some peace and quiet. Bit of fishing. I've had a horrendous work week. I just want to wait quietly. I'm sure there's a lot of you like me out there. I think that guy's in that huge boat's run aground over there. There's a massive boat. It's a dredger. Either he's dredging the channel there. He was coming in. He stopped. I reckon he's hit a sandbank. Usually when it's like this, you see a lot of small boats coming in that have been out fishing in the deep water, but I can't see any boats out there other than the big containers and stuff like that. They tend to anchor over there. I can go in there for you. And it's like down on the Lizard where they get the tuna and the blue sharks. You just go out and it's no big, it's not rocket science, just general areas pretty good around the boats, just off Coverack and places like that. And the other anchorage will be further out. I don't know whether you probably won't pick them up with this light if I go in. So out past there, where those guys are anchored, that's where we used to go thresher shark fishing out the back of those. And then way to the right is what I call inshore anchorage, I guess. Past that second headland, not the first one, the second one, you can see in the background is Dunno's Head. 40 years ago that would be a sort of thresher and poor wiggle shark mark as well. Going to take a look on take a look on the small rod and just see what the score is. With like the grip hasn't tripped. Maybe that is a small fish on. Oh, just a bit of weed on there, as you can see. Bait's a bit chewed there, a bit chewed there, and it's chewed on the end there as well. So nothing nothing too exciting. Right, fresh bait's out there, I feel. Beautiful evening. I've reeled in what I call within my banker rod, switch this off, and ragworm's fine, sandhill's fine, sandhill's fine. See how close they are together on this rig, so you think anything out there, they're not even crabbed. They have got clips on them, you can clip each one down for distance casting, but to be honest, I haven't bothered. Right, let's get these out there. Looking a bit ominous, guys. Shouldn't have bought that frying pan. It's frightening them. Does it ever get any easier on the UK south coast? Years ago you would come down here on a south coast beach, third week in November, admittedly big spring tides. I've got falling tides, you know, so they're going down towards Neath, so I know it's not the greatest time, but it's good for wind because it's been howling for a month. No choice. You would be hard pushed not to catch small codling and whiting, pouting, that sort of thing. It just seems really, really difficult now. And I'm not using any different techniques that I used years ago. I don't understand it. Somebody tell me. There just appears to be less and less fish on the inside. You can go boat fishing, no problem. Plenty of fish boat fishing. Just the inshore stuff seems really tough. Yeah. Those rod tops should be rattling away. It's dark, a little bit early on the tide, but they're not really. Mid-tide, mid-flood. So I'm banking on now, high water, and I've always said, I always like low tide when it starts to drop. I feel it sucking the food down. It's just a mental thing I've got. I've always thought it beach fishing. I've always done, obviously caught fish when the tide from high turns and then starts going out. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. I shouldn't have bought the frying pan. Flask of tea. Beautiful evening, don't get me wrong. All looks good. I picked a moonless night. I'm not big on the big full moons. Never done a great deal of good coarse fishing with those, freshwater, so even, I'll tell you, the only time I've done it is tuna fishing. A for marlin, very good for blue marlin, because they're eating the tuna are eating the squid are up in the water on all the plankton and stuff that rises from the depths, higher up in the water. In foreign countries, I hasten to add, there's not many blue marlin off the front of this beach. I know that by the temperature. That's why I used to go away in the winters. Anytime from December to March, I would be away chasing marlin, sailfish, kingfish, wahoo, you name it, dogtooth tuna, bonefish, tarpon, all that stuff. And there's hope, as long as the fish don't see the frying pan and they don't hear my tummy rumbling. Of course I've got a backup sandwich, of course I have. A packet of crisps. That's all over by the shouting, isn't it? Like 250-foot dredger pulling right up to the beach, 2 groins, 3 groins down, pumping millions of tons or hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of tons of shingle, sand, shells, fish, bait, whatever, worms probably, up on there, I guess, to build up. So I guess they're dredging from over there on the bank, taking it right round outside, coming round in a big arc, coming in, dumping it all. So I have seen it at work down by Chelsea Bill before. I sort of feel sorry for the guys back there. I can't see me catching a fish now. But where's my gloves? There'd probably be people around in the morning like this. There'd be shingle up to their mark, if they're still alive, buried in their net up to their necks, in shingle, just with the rod top sticking up like that. But they've got to work through the night, I suppose, what it is. And of course I could see now they may be working with the tide. So they start at low tide, suck up some shingle, gravel, whatever they're taking, take it round and then come right in towards high waters, and they come to the house on high water and dump it and spray it all up there at high water. So I figure I'm stuffed. All those worms I bought at Sand Hills, too late to move now. It's like roadworks, but in the sea. We've got a sense of humour. I've got my first very tentative rod wrap. Tiny fish though, 3 tiny fish. And there's like a mist in the air from that spray. It's going over the camera legs. Bigger waves coming now too. Might have to move all my gear back. Another guy's just turned up and the next groin over to me. And maybe it all kicks off later on. I'd be amazed if it does. Finally, there we go. A nice whiting. He's already had the coup de grace bash on the head. That's a good fish. That's a good size for a whiting. And get the bait out, guys. Yes, the frying pan's going to be used. This one's not going to make the frying pan. Nevertheless, nice little fish, a schoolie bass. That's strange, all that time with nothing. And then you get bass and a whiting. Going straight worms now, people, just like this. Don't think I don't think I've bothered with the sanding. Got quite a few worms left there, so up the side a little bit, double them up. The tide's about to turn, and it could be good, or it might not be. It's been hours waiting for those 2 fish. Got to take advantage of whatever's out there, whenever it is out there. The trouble we find, I mean, only just half a pound of worms. The problem is you get a lot small ones, so you have to use several worms to make a decent bait. What I'm trying to say. One more way. Is it Phil Williams' lucky red flotation jacket? Let's get it out there. T, please. That's close enough. The dredger's gone, unfortunately. So have the bites. I find it kind of strange. You get a whiting. I've just had a bite there, attack. Get a whiting, a small bass, fresh baits out. That's weird. Oh no, I did get bites. Let me whiz this around, guys. There's definitely some bites on both rods. Look. That's a bite. And that one. The minute I sit down and get a bite again, watch. See, that's two different bites on two different rods. And they've both gone. They could be schoolie bass. Right, when I'm winding in, it feels like I've got a fish on. It's a little bit sharp. I know I'm on braid. Generally, if you get a fish, it's generally beach fishing. It's heavier. It just feels a bit heavier than when you're normally winding leaded. Now, sometimes the lead does catch on the bottom, bump. But generally, as you come in closer, the angle changes, so you're not pulling it low like this. As you get closer, the rod lifts it. So it should be bumping out there, right, and then freer as you come in, if that makes sense. And I'm thinking, I don't understand it, because I've fished here for years, you know, on and off. Never noticed that before. I'm coming up with this theory, which I think everybody else has gone home, by the way. I don't know if they caught any fish, but it would appear not. It's only 8 o'clock, just gone 8. Saturday night, you think they would have stayed. I think, having seen that dredger spewing thousands of tons of gravel around here, he's made a hump. So here's the beach coming down. Okay, the beach comes down like this. And what's happened, he's made what we used to call a slough in North Carolina, which is a gap in a sort of surf break, if you like, and the fish will come through. He said this time it's all blocked because he's going along here, laying another hump like this of all that sand. Okay, tide comes up, waves wash it back, it makes a ridge. I don't think the fish are coming over that ridge, which is why I'm not catching relatively close in. 50, 60 yard chuck, like most of these guys I've seen just throwing out. Regular fishermen just throwing out to go fishing. You would normally catch that at night, no moon, high tide, it's all there in the books, you know, say how you should be fishing, as it were. I'm 90% sure of this now, because every time I'm winding in, I'm winding a little bit, right, okay, fine, and it goes bump, 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 bump. The grips have tripped, but it's bumping over this hump. So I reckon out there, it might be 2 feet deep. And the fish aren't coming up and over it. Normally it would be a slope like this, they'd be coming into the bank here to feed at deep water. And I think it's like that. There's the beach. Now there's this hump there like that. They're not coming over it until they get some storms to flatten all this stuff out. I'm 90% sure that's what it is. And that's what those bumps and bangs are. They're not snagging up. There you go, that's some kind of theory. So the dredger might be doing a good job dredging the channel or whatever he's doing, but he's definitely screwed the fishing, I think, down here. Especially those poor men down there, they must have got sprayed with it. I could see it in the camera lens, it's like misting in the air, so it's all drifting this way. Same old story, I'm the only one, the last man standing, in my case, the last man sitting. But I won't die of starvation, because I'm going to have a new secret recipe for my whole whiting. So I've got the chair outside, I've put this in here because the wind's come up a bit. Just a point, that big's happening. Just as a point of interest, I'm using this low one, which I like. Mike's got another one I pinch every now and then, but it stands up higher on top of the canister, which I don't like. I like this low one, especially with a frying pan. Down there, put this up here. Okay, so Mr. White in here, he is going to get just gutted. That's all I'm going to do, just gut him now, and I'm going to fry him, if he fit in the pan, whole. Working on my theory of the dredger making a bank, you know, I've now really given him a good thump. I might not clear it, trying to get over the bank to the deeper water, but unfortunately the tide's dropping, so I'm sort of stuffed. The other problem I might have is when it goes down like this, up and over that gravel stuff that he's spewing out there, as it goes down the tide, my line will be laying on there. So it could get A, buried, sort of unlikely because there's not big waves, or it could just chafe. So it's a theory, but I gave those last 3 casts on those rods, I gave them a good thump out. It is what it is. Let's get this fish gutted. So what we're going to do with this one, let's get the oil on. Just put the oil in here. I could do it in butter. Let's get that heating up. Let's hope there's enough gas. There will be. Oh, I was thinking of doing it over an open fire and bringing some wood with me, and I thought, you know what, I can't really have an open fire inside the little bivvy thing here, the little beach shelter. Whereas, you know, like this, I can do. So I've got Mr. Whiting here. I've gutted him all out, and what I'm going to do is put some sweet chili sauce inside there as well, and then when I turn it inside the pan, I'm going to turn it so, if you imagine that's in the pan, sweet chili sauce is in there. I'm going to turn it like this. I'm not going to turn it so it runs out. It will come out, but I'm doing it whole. I actually do the whole thing whole, so that way if you're in a survival situation you will eat the brains, the eyeballs and everything. Tune that down a bit. You can see how that one is better for not tipping over, especially on the beach. And also balance just here on the side. I can put the handle of the pan there, because it's quite a big frying pan, this one. In fact, if I keep using big frying pans, it makes the fish look better, doesn't it? I should have a small frying pan, really. So here's the sweet chili sauce. It is the other side of my bait cutting. I'm going to pile that in there. I'll turn it that way so you can see it. It's all going to go in there a bit like putting lemon inside, but I'm putting this, and I don't mind, you know, if it goes inside the head cavity and everything. Smear it all in. Lovely. And then let's get this in the pan. Now this is going to take a little bit longer to cook. If I take fillets off of that, it'll be done in 2 minutes either side, something like that. But the fact I'm cooking the whole fish, because I want to get the juice out the head, the brains, the eyeballs, all that. And that'll all be in amongst that cooking oil and... well, it's falling over, don't fall over. I've got to tell you guys, the smell with that sweet chilli sauce is really something. Oh no, sorry, I'm kneeling in it. It's nice though. I think I could put that on a slice of dry bread and have it. I think half of cooking outside, you know, is A, getting the fat spitting into your eyes, but B, it's the smell. It is the smell. Right, tricky part of flipping it over. I want to turn it. Use that piece of wood. I'm not worried about all the skin because I want to peel all that off. I'm not sure whether that's mist or smoke off the fish. Smells great though. Somebody watch those rods. They're hammering them, but I'm missing some of the bites that I'm cooking. Maybe one's going to hang itself. It's a last minute favour. Look, there's a bite there on that small one. There, whoa, look at that. Holy schmoly. Fish on, guys. Fish on and fish burning. Gotta be careful because I've got small hooks. Hang on a minute, I've got to turn the fish off. Oh my god. Never mind about that. Boys, oh, what a result. What a result. Oh, it's lunker time, I can't believe it. Yes sirree, boys. Look at this puppy off the beach. Look at it. That is an absolute beauty. Oh my god. Off the beach. I cannot believe that. How am I going to get that in a frying pan with a whiting? You know what? They keep pretty well out of water for wild bass. I think I will put it back. You've seen it, I've caught it. I know I caught it. Look at it. Animal bass, off the beach, south coast. Good long time still caught one like that. I'm going to put it back. Let's get it back quick. Even if I've got a whiting to eat, that's all I want. Survival situation, I'll be eating this guy. I'm going to get him back. I don't know what I've just done. Just put that really, really nice bass back. It might be a good omen. I don't know. I was taking it home for the wife in my mind. I thought, oh, we'll have that tomorrow night. Definitely, that is 100% a really, really nice keeper. But I've got to think, I've gone from the old 0 to hero. I'm trying to get this hook back. The fish is going to be cold when we get to it. It'll stay warm in the pan. Probably this fish still cooks when it's in the pan. I can't believe that bass. That was a cracker. The rod did fluctuate. I wonder, is that what I'm saying about the distance casting and getting over the back of that? I feel it's there. The gravel bar. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't show you the actual fight, but trust me, I think I got something. Yes, very big pieces of ragworm are going out now. It's all going in the water now. Let's get this straight out and then we're going to be on that fish. I'm nearly out of everything. Camera batteries, memory cards, cooking oil. Look at this. Absolutely cooked to perfection. Got all the juices in there. All I want is a little bit of this. I'm watching that rod at the same time. Salt. Pepper. The last a little bit of chilli sauce on there. Look at it, absolutely falling off the bone. Fit for, no, not a king, fit for a master bass fisherman. Slightly heavy on the pepper. One bone. I still can't believe I put that one back. How lucky is this one? Just run out of cooking oil in the frying pan. And another nice whiting. Flicking water everywhere. I've really whacked them as hard as I can get them. And I just feel I'm over the other side. And the guy's just coming up here again with another, this 250-foot dredger, and he's going to, oh God, he's going to pump it all over me by the look of it. This might be the last cast, guy. Let's get this guy back. And I reckon that's what it is. Anybody fishes down here, there could well be a ridge out there. You might want to whack it a little bit farther with the distance casting paying off. Turned into a good session. He's unbelievably close to me now. If I zoom in, he's two groins away. Well, boys, kind of hard to believe. Whiting are coming on now, and I've got one more cast of bait. And he started spraying. I'm going to show you in a minute. He's 150 yards from me with tons of shingle. Incidentally, that is on my stinger hook, size 10 freshwater. Forgot to show you that. Just next to that big bait I showed you when I started. I'll get this back and I'll get the last of the worms out. People, they're still going. No stopping now, boys. Jumbo whiting. Tides, if you remember I did say earlier on about, I always like down here, and I generally do like the ebb down, an hour or so of the ebb. Everybody seems to think, you know, high water, but I like that turn of the tide. I feel it's sucking the food out of the fish and feeding. I'm putting bits of worms on now. sky with fish. Is that bright or what? It's brighter than that boat's light. I don't know what to say. Even I didn't know it would turn around like this, I've got to be perfectly honest. I'd never even thought about it. Another whiting. No. Another bass. Oh, look, what a session. That is brilliant. He absolutely nailed that. I'm not sure he hadn't taken 2 baits, to be honest. You know the schoolie, I realise that. Nothing like that other jumbo one I had. But boys, fishing like this, I love it. What a change from the coarse fishing struggle I've had. And I've had a brilliant coarse fishing autumn and that, not even early winter. I've done really well. I've done good catfish, barbel, carp. Now, shore fishing, oh, the toughest nut to crack ever in England. 3 bass. Oh my God. It's now, let's get the lights on, boys. It's now verging on the ridiculous. Ultimate sport fishing. Down here on the beach, not very big, but what am I doing catching a smooth hound at the start of winter off the beach? What a session I'm having. Unbelievable. I should have bought some more worms. So I'm now wondering, is all those tons, thousands of tons of shingle, he must be sucking up sand eels and crabs and everything in there, and they washing back in the water, and because it's an ebb tide I'm in the right position, and the fish maybe are following the dredger, I don't know. It's like a manic session, and a superb evening, and I've got the whole beach to myself. Everybody's gone home, and I nearly did myself. Wowee. Oh, it's still going. Act in, look. Act in haste, repent at leisure. Another bite. It's crazy. Will it go when I put that fish is on? Right, let's get hooked up if we can. It's getting repetitive. More whiting. We're just hammering it. This has got to be the luckiest jacket I've had for a long time, so thanks to Phil Williams for giving me this jacket. Haley Hansen is probably never going to appear again. So the one with the yellow stripes on is going to go, and the red one's coming out. I've moved the camera around to the other side to try and give you a different backdrop. Otherwise people are saying, oh, it's the same fish he's catching. I just had, wait for this, another smooth hound. I mean, there can't be much water left out there. It's absolutely cracking. It's manic. I just wish I had more worms. Well, we'll find out. So I've got one big worm left. I'm going to make probably 2 baits out of. It's just crazy. Almost early winter and getting smooth hounds off the beach. Only fun ones. Yeah, we know the small ones. Yeah, sure, I get it. Oh, I can sit back and relax now because that was a good fishing session. I enjoyed that. It was a nice evening. Slow to start off with. Obviously I could have a good old moan about why I wasn't catching fish, go through all the different theories, but there was something about that one casting over that potential gravel bar that dredger is pumping out there. I just feel something in it because it was bump. I could feel it coming in. I've never felt that down there before. Anyway, bit of a digression there. Great fishing trip there. I hope I can get another one. Now it's that time of year. As you know, we don't ram products all down your throat all the time, but we get to the time of year when, if you want to support us, you can go across, and Mike does that. I don't have anything to do with it whatsoever. Is TAFishing.com. That's where you go apparently, and you can get different sizes hoodies like this one. If you want to support us, hey ho. If you don't worry, it's not a problem. But some people do like to think they can support us. hoodies, and I know they do, I don't know what else Mike does, there's other stuff on there. Regular sweatshirts. Now, I'm just saying, the regular sweatshirt I find good till about end of September, and then I want the hoodie to keep warm. That's just mine. So through the winter, you know, I probably wouldn't wear this one. That's more for inside. If you're inside a lot, nice to wear. Outside in the winter, you need 6. Even better for ourselves. Anyway, I go down the bottom of the garden, I think, that willow tree is getting worse. I've mentioned it before. But then, there's something growing around the base of it. What on earth is it? So you can see this is one of the large willow trees we got on the site. But look, when I pan right, there is our major willow tree. I don't know what it is, 100 feet high, it's a big one. That used to go right down to the ground, so much that we used to actually have to cut it because you couldn't see through to the backfields for the view. Look at the state of it now, a tiny piece of vegetation there. It's not full winter when I film this, but all those leaves, they sort of curl at the end, and then most of them, even through the summer, okay, were down on the ground like this. So you say, well, that happens every autumn, Graham. Well, of course it does, but we were getting this in June and July as well. And we noticed, you know, where that statue is, the willow actually reached down there. But what is this? I want to know. What is this fungus? In all the years we've had the property, I've never seen that fungus. And it came up in like, I want to say it came up in 2 or 3 days. A weird one. Some of you guys out there are into all this stuff. You'll be able to tell us what type of fungus they are. I fear it's a sign of a very dead tree and the fungus is eating into it. Now, I know the fungus didn't actually cause it, but look what it's doing. The bark is splitting apart, look. I can just peel it, like peeling a banana. It's weird. And I've had other trees like this as well. So why are they dying? This is a big established willow tree. To be honest, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Somebody out there must be able to tell us. I could peel this tree, look, I could peel that all the way up and it would look like a sharpened pencil in reverse. So something bizarre is going on. I don't think it's that green lichen. Now then, it gets worse or better, depending on knowledge. I'm poking around like boys of the 50s do. Oh my God. Look at the maggots in this fungus. Now, I don't know where to go from here because are those maggots the cause of some beetle thing that has gone into the tree and killed the tree, and they are just like fishing maggots, or are they a maggot from a fly that is actually eating the fungus? Is there a fly that lays its egg in that fungus? It hatches out. I want to know badly what it turns into. I suppose I should be saying, are those maggots going to be any good for fishing? But they just look like a fly maggot to me. So somebody out there must know, because they're right in amongst the fungus. Are they killing the tree? Are they killing the fungus and they eating the fungus? I do not know. But it's a massive tree. I hate losing trees. I'm not going to saw this one down. But somebody out there, please help me out with info. Well, some of you guys out there will know what that is, I feel sure. All that fungusy stuff. Is that the death sign for trees? I mean, I've seen fungus up trees, but I've never, like in 16, 18 years, I've never had any fungus around that tree at all. And it was only on a national country programme, literally this last week, talking about doom and destruction with so many trees with diseases, and obviously the drought causes problems. Have you guys found that? Listen, you know me, I've been banging on about the loss of trees for years, especially getting strangled by the ivy, which then gets blown down because there's no leaves on deciduous. The ivy climbs up it, along comes a wind in a wet winter, all the roots are wet, the ivy is like a great big sail crash, over it goes. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Why are so many ivy covered trees parallel down the roads? Next time you travel down a road, have a look. Don't watch where you're going, obviously. Have a look. You'll be amazed how many. You look back in fields, not so many. I'm wondering, are they feeding on the carbon effluent that we're pumping out the cars? Is that what the Ivy likes. Maybe you should believe in it. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this issue of the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. There will be hopefully another one next week. Now I'm struggling, I've really been struggling as of this time, trying to get enough in the run up to the end of 2022. I've had a lot of work on anyway, and the weather has been pretty dire, but I've got, I think, 42 or 43 films backed up on the hard drives, brand new films. I am desperate not to use them like now before Christmas. I want to start January the 1st, 42 films all the way through. It takes the stress off me. So I am struggling a little bit, but this last one I put up last Friday, last Friday? Depends when you watch it, could be tonight, couldn't it? The last one on the beach was good. We'll see you in the next, and don't forget, hit the subscribe button. TAFishing, TA Outdoors, and don't forget the merch on TAFishing.com. See you next time. I'm off to wash all the salt off my fishing reels.